repetitive tasks to to kind of um, to kind of do certain repetitive tasks through those bots or chat bots, right? But in the past, I would say past 3 years, AI has grown so fast. We moved from RPA to AI to generative AI, and now we are looking at enterprise level end-to-end solutions through AI and machine learning, right? So that's the evolution. AI has evolved over the past few years, and it is doing things very fast, and it is doing things very fast, faster than what we can even think of. So in the PM circle, our mission is to make product thinking more accessible and action oriented by applying something called as first principles thinking. And our vision is to create an ecosystem of future ready product managers who blend technology, strategy, and human centered design. We believe that the future of product management is AI way of product management and design a way of AI thinking. Um, Ankit, next slide, please. Yeah. So yeah, these are some of the goals that we have started with. We want to bridge the gap. I heard from someone who is in their final year and they want to help out in in businesses. Then there are young innovators. There are people who are just in the college and just trying to figure out what to do next. So our goal here is to bridge the gap between what is being taught in the educational institutions and what the industry demands, right? So that is our whole aim. So we want to bring those industrial case study, day to day way of working with different types of customers, different types of global clients, maybe bank in the banking domain, financial domain, healthcare or health technology domain, retail domain, which is a huge one in itself, the automobile and automotive industry domain. So there are different multiple domains, and now you have the energy, power, green energy, and those sectors also coming in a very big way. So our aim is to how we can get real life challenges and case studies and how things are being solved using AI in these areas to people like you all or who are still trying to find a foothold in product management, or they want to engage in more AI driven product management, right? Yeah, so that is one thing. And second is we also are collaborating with a group of senior product managers in primarily in Hyderabad region, working in different companies, both in the product side as well as the services side companies, consulting companies. So we are trying to get their insights and their time where they can mentor. They can find time to mentor and help you in terms of, like, let's say you want your resume to be reviewed, a cursory review of your resume, or you have an idea, right? You have an idea, you just want to have brainstorm an idea with the product managers who have actually implemented 10, 15 ideas in their lifetime of 15, 20 years. You want to just brainstorm an idea with them, or you are somebody who is looking to shape up your product management career and you want to do some mock interviews. So that is the hiring alignment that we are talking about. And finally, of course, we will focus on the execution skills, because you go to ChatGPT, you go to Copilot, or you go to anything, you get every information. You don't need me, you don't need Ankit, we don't need to organize any of these sessions. But where we play a role is bringing these things together and collecting this information and synchronizing it in a way which is more approachable towards some successful goals. So that is our aim, because otherwise information is already there. But how many of you have used Copilot, and why? How can you use Copilot, right? How many of you have used ChatGPT? For what have you used ChatGPT? Now, how can you be a better prompt engineer, right? How can you, let's say, if you are into marketing, you want to, this marketing presentation are an overkill, I feel. And thanks to AI, it has helped many people in developing, designing, and executing these marketing PPTs. When you develop a product, developing a product is one part of it, but executing a product and then marketing or taking it to the customers is another part. So that's where we are trying to do in terms of focusing on the execution skills. So we will go hands on, not in this session because 1 hour session or 50-minute session is not enough to learn everything. But our goal from PM Circle is we want to get these hands on experiences in small knowledge bites where you are learning. Let's say I have learned Copilot and I have learned uh, doing ABC things in ChatGPT, or I have learned Power BI. And if you are more interested on the data and analytics side, because everything goes hand in hand, right? Everything goes hand in hand. And then we have this AI platform. If somebody is interested in AI platform tools, like for example, if you are more interested in becoming a deployment engineer, whom we used to call them as operations person or the operations engineers. If you want to go to that side of things, then there are AI platforms to help you to build and deploy, like OpenAI, Google has Vertex, AWS has SageMaker. So there are a lot of things. So there are different ways. You have AI Copilot, you have generative AI, you have AI platform, you have analysis and decision systems, which comes where Databricks, Power BI comes under that, and then finally you also have SaaS applications, right? Software as a service applications, your Salesforce and ServiceNow of the world. So these are the different ways where AI is being introduced in the industry, in different businesses, in different areas. In the execution skills, we'll focus on those kind of case study, those kind of using those tools and hands-on. Let's move on, Ankit. The next one. Okay. And as we say, it is no longer a specialty. It is no longer a specialty. It's a table stake, right? And what we are trying to do, so these are very interesting numbers, right? When we see, it is, I think the world will develop only when we generate new ideas. True or false? What do you think? The world will develop, or humanity will develop, or human evolution will further happen only when we innovate new things. That's correct, right? And how do we innovate new things? Everybody has 24 hours in a day. You take out few hours from there, right, for your basic stuff. You take out few hours for spending time with your family, hobbies, ABC, whatever, and whatever time you have left. If you continue to do what we have been doing for the past 2, 3, 4 decades, we will get similar results. We'll get the same results. But if we are freeing up our space in doing things in a better way, or doing new things, that's when we'll get different results. I'm not saying we'll get better results, because there are chances that we also fail. We are doing things for the first time, there is a possibility you will fail. It always goes with a 50-50 probability, right? But what AI is helping us to do is AI is helping us to free up our space so we can think, we can analyze, we can strategize, we can ideate, we can be more creative. While the execution part, while the administrative part, while the documentation part is being taken care of AI. Okay, so I know people are very I would say the word distressed, thinking that AI will take our jobs or AI will replace jobs in different areas. Yes, it will happen. It is happening. It will happen in some pockets. It won't happen in a big scale. It would happen in certain pockets. And I can talk from the inside out view in the organizations that I have worked. It is happening. It will happen. Even before AI, also, those things were happening. So that is the thing. It's not that layoff is a new term with AI. Layoff has been happening for time immemorial, and this layoff word, pink slip, it has been there. It has been there in the industry. You just want to have a scapegoat. I feel it. You just want to have a scapegoat, which is AI is kind of a scapegoat. But AI is also bringing in new opportunities, and those kind of opportunities will be there, and it will continue to evolve. Okay. So as I said, so AI is no longer a table stake. It is a competency where we all need to have the basic competency. That's a must have. And if we really want to evolve, we need to have advanced capabilities. We need to identify which area in AI can we help in my current work or my current role, right? Can we move on, Ankit? So these are some of the things we covered in the last session. I will quickly go over this because we want to focus a little bit more on the design thinking part. Um, the role of a product manager has moved from that of a feature manager. I know as a the traditional way of product manager is what you have a product backlog. The product manager used to work with the customers and stakeholders, creating the product backlog. They used to do certain testing. They used to write it BRDs, PRDs. In all of those, they used to participate and in all those sprint meetings. So those are some of the things which will still happen, but a part of it will be automated through an AI agent. So how the PM's role is evolving, they're moving from just being feature managers to AI orchestration leaders. The focus is on defining the goal for AI agents. So that's where is the differentiator. What kind of work can the AI can it's like outsourced to the AI agents, right? What are the decision boundaries? How much Levi can you give an AI agent? Okay. You cannot tell the AI agent, this is the balance sheet or this is, these are financial data of the top three banking customers that I have. And AI will have read write to that database. You cannot do that. That will be a disaster, right? So that's where you need to be very clear about the decision boundaries, about the guardrails that you need to keep when you are working with AI agents. So, and other thing is, so the PM becomes a human in the loop strategist. They are not just an executor. Agentic AI transforms management from decision support to decision execution, requiring PMs to orchestrate the intelligent systems, not just manage the features. Okay. Um, Moving forward, revenue stakes. You can keep scrolling, Ankit. Now, you may have heard, I know there are a lot of examples. I mean, I don't know, maybe the next slide, next one, revenue stakes. There have been a lot of situations and a lot of examples. And recently I heard about, I mean, maybe I was undergoing a training and I heard about a situation where deep fake was used in doing um, a, you know, a multi-million dollar transaction for a very leading bank, right? So this is how dangerous sometimes AI can get. Now, when we're talking about revenue stakes, despite the unprecedented investment and widespread adoption, I don't know how many of you have heard of this called as AI maturity. So, in the organizations, in order to be ahead of the game, many organizations they're coming up with something called as what is my AI maturity or what is my AI adoption maturity. Every business unit is given a KPI or KRA, whatever you call key result areas. Okay, in this half yearly or in this quarter or in this year, what is your AI adoption maturity? Like in your area of business, how much AI you are adopting, right? And then you translate that AI number, and at the organization level, people are showcasing that, like let's say all the deals that you're doing. You may have heard, if you are on top of the news, you may have heard that Accenture, Wipro, and many other organizations, TCS, so many organizations, the deals that they are doing, they're saying the most of our deals, 70% of our deals are AI driven or AI related. How do they come up with that? They kind of collate this information based upon what is their AI maturity, what is the business that's coming, and what is the opportunity over there. First of all, if I don't have people to give me AI solutions, I cannot go to a customer and say, I can do it, right? So that is one. So despite this unprecedented investment and widespread adoption, most organizations are finding it difficult to translate these AI initiatives into measurable business returns. So there is a growing disconnect between the AI enthusiasm, this maturity. Okay, I'm at 3.5. I need to move to 3.8 out of 5. I'm at 4.1. I need to move to 4.5. So that enthusiasm is great. Everybody is so enthusiastic. But what is the realized value? That is the most defining challenge in the enterprise transformation today. We all run beautiful pilots, beautiful proof of concepts, you know, but when it comes to actual adoption, enterprise level adoption, I'm not talking about an adoption even in small level where you're, deploying, doing some workflow automation, or you're just a part of the process, payroll process, a part of AR, accounts receivable, accounts payable. From the accounting side, if you're just trying to automate that process, I'm not talking about that, I'm talking at an enterprise level. So in the enterprise level, there is a lack of alignment between AI initiative and business objectives. You cannot fit in AI everywhere. Sometimes it is a natural progression, and in some cases you have to give it time. And in some cases, if it doesn't make sense, you just don't have to use it. You just don't have to use it, right? So that is one key issue where the alignment between AI initiatives and business objectives, there is a lack. Okay, and that is becoming difficult to link the outcomes or the revenue to the investment, and somewhere everybody is trying to justify what is the revenue versus what is the outcome. And second challenge over here is the organizational barriers, right? So low adoption, skills gap, resistance to change. So that is preventing AI from being embedded into the workflows. And I'm talking it at an enterprise level. In a small business unit, it's still okay, but at an enterprise level, that is the problem because uh, when you are talking about skills, skilling 1 lakh people, skilling 50,000 people, skilling 20,000 people, it's not easy in a matter of months. And skilling is not just about just doing trainings, doing certificates, so 1 hour 2 hour training, not that. When you're talking about skilling in the way where they're actually going and implementing something in the process, right? So that is number one. Number two is adoption. This adoption, I'm talking not just I'm ready, I'm a service provider, or I'm a person who is developing products using AI, right? I will adopt AI. I will not have resistance to change because I want my product to be best, right? So I want my product. So I am more open as a product manager, as a company which is ideating a new product like Google, they will be very open to invest in AI. They will be very open in driving new change through AI. And even for the services organization, because they have to survive and they have to run this ride. However, when it comes to the customer organizations, like let's say you have a Bank of America or you have a customer like Walmart, they are all very old customers in different domains. They're very, even now also they're very old way of doing things, right? So let's say even the Indian government. Indian government means Indian government, different departments, whatever we have, right? Indian government have different departments or ministries. In those, I mean, if you have to use AI in those ministries, so that is a challenge. Why that's a challenge? Because it is not, AI is not just about the tool. It is not about the technology. It is about whole change management it that encapsulates this whole thing. People, even if I go and do certain change, I have to train people to use it. Now this is the same thing which happened when digitization happened in the public sector banks in India few years back. SBI, when digitization happened in SBI, when people were asked to start using computers, pressing keyboard, start using computers, learning internet, okay, accessing an application, entering password and login and things like that. So that was the start of your internet and digitization era. Many people, they took VRS, voluntary retirement, because they said no, this is new, and it's like, why? Because they're not comfortable. That's the resistance to change. So similarly, even though we develop the best of the best products, best of the best solution for our customers, we have to see what is the level of maturity and skill set of the customer. Otherwise, we also have to train our customers to use the new version of the product or to adopt new ways of doing things. Because at the end of the day, they can only get the value when the actual users are using the system. Right? So that's where we talk about that low adoption, skill gaps, and resistance to change are big organizational barriers today. Okay? All right, let's move on. So here are some numbers which you may have seen. 90. Okay, good. There's we have a quiz. All right, let's hear from you. I spoke enough. So Ankit has put some things to stop me from talking.
Right. So we have a quiz, and I want all of you to be active in the chat. And I'll be going through the questions, and I want you to select the answer and yeah, type it out in the chat. So we'll start, and Smita ma'am will be going through the answers because I'm sharing right now.
Yeah.
So we'll start. Yeah. So these are the rules. I'll give you 10 seconds to answer each questions, and we'll have four options. So and yeah, no googling. That would be yeah. Just you can type it out in the chat. Yeah. So the first one is, what is the main goal of design thinking? Build products as quickly as possible, or put users at the center of problem solving, reduce development cost only, or create beautiful interfaces. Right. I request all of you to be active. You can unmute yourself and answer as well. Shall I go ahead with the answer? All right. So the second option is the correct option. Put users at the center of the problem solving. Right. Moving
And I
on.
think most of them have got it right. That's nice.
Okay. Great. So, which of these comes first in Stanford's design thinking process? So, this is something we are going to be covering in this session going forward. But let's see if you guys know about this, right? So, we have prototype, empathize, test, or ideate. All right. So, I'll be going ahead with the answer is empathize. Okay. So, the last one. Which company increased bookings by improving properties photos? Right. So, is it Uber, Airbnb, Slack, or Netflix?
Yeah, are we getting the answers? Or is it like for all the three questions, Ankit, you have the answer as B? Next time, I think you should change the
Yes.
option.
Yeah. For the first quiz, I kept it like this, but yeah, I just
Yeah.
wanted to play around and see if people will choose B or not.
Okay.
No worries. Yeah. So moving on.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, Smita, ma'am, you can take over.
Sure. Okay. That's interesting. All right. So, the third point over here is the customer signal. Okay. Um, so, the customer signal or the customer feedback at the real time scale is really very crucial. Now, when we are talking about the customer signal, the sooner you get, the better you can do your course correct, right? Now, even in WhatsApp also, right? The what's if you see, by the way, you know who is a new global leader for WhatsApp? Can you type this person's name? This recently came in the news. Yeah, Kunal Shah. So Kunal Shah, he was, I think he owned a couple of things, but he was primarily known for recharge, and cred. Okay, cred money. So cred, I think, was taken over by WhatsApp, if I'm not wrong, and Kunal will be leading the global operations for WhatsApp. So now, when you're talking about this customer signal, what do you mean by customer signal? So when you're talking about customer signal, we are talking about, of course, reviews, surveys, usage, product logs, and all those things are fine. That's the traditional way. That's the traditional way of gathering customer feedback. That's the traditional MBA way of gathering customer feedback. Earlier the MBA students, they used to go to um, um, these organizations, like uh, where they can, or organizations, or they go to the community, and then they're called as marketing consultant or marketing people, and people used to close their doors on them, right? You may have seen in many ads also. So why do they go? Because they go and do a survey. Okay, they do a survey on different products, they do a survey on different experiences. Okay, and it could be on different areas. So that was the time when a person who is doing MBA, or a person, a graduate who is joined the market, is actually going and doing. They're actually going and, you know, the feedback, exactly. But that feedback used to come. They used to collate that feedback. Then they used to do some analysis, and it used to take weeks, months. Hindustan Unilever is doing feedback on some of the projects. It used to take days, months, gather that information and then feed that information. Then the product design team coming together and working on a new concept, a new design. It used to take a lot of time, right? But now getting the customer feedback is real time. And most of these things are done through faster, fairer prioritization decisions, and they are done through AI. So that you actually focus on insights. You don't focus on the data, because data and analytics is already there, but you are focusing more on decision making, on insights. What kind of decision and insights can you draw? What kind of insights can you draw to make decisions? That's the right way of putting. What kind of insights can you draw from making right decisions? And second is, you are spending more time with the customer to understand their needs, to understand the underlying needs, I would say. Because sometimes even the customer, if the customer knows, now, for example, you if you ask your grandparent, I want to color this room, which color? I have these shades of green, olive greens, and emerald green, and I have this 5 6 shades of green. We are talking to a grandparent, right? So I have these 6 shades of green. Which green do you think I should color or paint this wall? And they'll say, maybe some of them will say, okay, I like this green, I like sea green, I like olive green, I like bottle green, or whatever. And then they would tell them, and it would be difficult. Some people will say, some people will choose. They will be confused between two. Some people will say it's difficult to choose. You go by your own wish. But if you just put all the 6 green shades on one side of the wall and show them, now you tell me which one to choose. It's very easy. They can easily relate to it and see, okay, now I like this olive green on this wall because it goes with this theme, or whatever, or this is my choice. So that is the reason why that kind of prototyping came into play. What is this? This is a very simplest example of POC, proof of concept, or prototyping, you can say, right? Or wireframe, whatever we call in the software engineering terms, we call these things. But this is the closest way. You are actually not painting the wall, and then you remove that paint. At the end of the day, you have to paint that wall with olive green, but you have used 6 types of green colors over there just to get an idea of which looks best. So that is the customer signal. And we have to find ways to get those customer signal through AI. Most of the things will be done. so that you focus more on interaction with the customer directly. Last point. Ankit, please move to the last one. And this is my favorite, and I think AI cannot sustain without it. Next one, Ankit. Yes, AI governance becomes a design default. So AI is no longer a backend capability. It is shaping decisions that impact customers, that impact revenue, that impact risk in real time. So this means that governance cannot be an afterthought. It must be designed into the system from day one. Okay. And what do you mean by governance? It means you are embedding controls like transparency, accountability, bias monitoring, and data privacy directly into your product architecture. And you're not adding them later. Okay. And I repeat, I would like to repeat this. It means governance by design means embedding controls like transparency, accountability, bias monitoring, and data privacy directly into the product architecture and not adding them later. So that is what we call it as zero trust by design. Means you are designing the system in such a way that your data is protected. You are building accountability. If you are deploying AI agents in your system, the accountability of the AI agents has to somebody has to take the accountability. Now you cannot say, that transaction was done by the AI agent. I am not responsible. No, that means that there is a lack in governance. AI doesn't work that way. So there should be transparency where your Power BI dashboard, who is doing what, all those things, work in progress dashboards, they come into play. Accountability is very important. Any system accountability is designed in the governance itself. And second is, I want to talk about is bias monitoring. AI can be biased, and actually, it has been seen. In I think in one of the bank, there was an example. Somebody was talking about it. Um, so there was a bank. The AI, they have developed, they like automated the whole process flow and things like that. And then the AI agent, it used to give recommendation for role for loan approval, recommendation for loan approval. And most of the time, the AI was slowly getting biased. Why? Because the moment it used to get the loan applications, it was trying to be more gender specific. So sometimes it will reject the loan because it is applied by a female, and it happened. Actually, this is an actual case study. So AI can introduce these kind of biases, and monitoring and as I say that, when I say bias, the biases, if you ask me, you cannot actually uncover all the bias while designing a system. That is not possible, right? You may have heard of something called MFA, multi-factor authentication. Yes or no? You all know multi-factor authentication? Yes, no? Yes, you can talk in the chat, or you can unmute yourself.
Yes, yes, we do. We do.
Yes. So you know why multi-factor authentication came into play? This was one of the GDPR requirements. GDPR is the data privacy requirement that was put by the European Union. Apart from that, MFA was part of a security measure. MFA was a security measure, and it became a de facto security standard. Now you see MFA in everything, right? Initially, and again, this also has developed in the past 15 years. I would say MFA was not there to 15, 20 years back. There was no MFA. Single sign on, MFA, these things were not there. Okay. So these kind of things, come, they only come through experience. They only come through continuous monitoring. Okay. In some cases, as I said, so the biases are already there. If you have already, certain biases are there, they exist, you will try to build the system in such a way, build and test the system in such a way that they are agnostic, or they do not comply with these biases. But there is a possibility that there could be new biases that can be introduced by this whole AI mechanism. And that's why monitoring is very important. The bias monitoring come into play, where we are actually continuously monitoring to find such gaps. Okay. Yeah, I think we spoke about all these things: autonomy, continuous validation. Can we just move on, Ankit? All right. I think this is a brilliant example. Um, I think this is something. Yeah, it's about razor pay. As I was talking to you, it is not just AI is not just being used for recommendations, right? AI is also used for certain other intelligent things, like in the agentic commerce. Razor Pay, they have partnered with Anthropic, so that users can order from Swiggy, Zomato, Zepto from a chat, from within a chat, and no app switching, right? So these are some of the things that is being introduced through AI. Next one, Ankit. Okay, I think these are some more examples, and I'm sure some of you already know about it. Swiggy, Zomato. All right. Now, where this leaves every PM, the tactical work of maintaining, writing tickets, following up with the status updates, all these things are just disappearing. What remains is how we are growing in our value through judgment and deciding what to build, for whom to build, and why to build, right? So that is the decision making is, as I said, the analytics is anyways coming from AI. AI is giving you all the analytics, but the insights for decision making, that is where human intervention is needed. That's where a product manager's role come into play, right? So what to build, for whom to build, and why to build. AI cannot decide what to build. Can AI decide what to build? No. Can AI decide for whom they have to build? Yes, they can give certain suggestions, but the decision should always lie with a human. And here we are talking about specifically product manager. So it is now a skill that every PM needs to have. Second is double down on empathy. And I cannot just tell enough about it. Customer trust and storytelling, it cannot be automated away. It cannot, right? You may use AI as a companion. You may use AI, to for your self entertainment. You may, so these things can happen. But at the end of the day, you still need that social circle. You still need that human empathy. Okay, you need that human touch, that human emotion to share things. So that empathy is very important. Customer trust and storytelling cannot be automated. It is something which we have to do, and this is where we need to focus ideally. And 100 disruptive ideas. Yes, routine knowledge is now not a commodity, and we have to come up with new ideas. And coming up with new ideas, as I said, I don't think AI can give you ideas. Why AI cannot give you new ideas? Why? Because AI, more or less, AI uses a lot of the historical data, things of which it's already there. That's where AI will see very, very useful. But when it comes to, and when you're talking about agentic AI, or when you're talking about Copilot, and you're, let's say, you're giving some insights and you're asking AI to do something for you, actually it is generating that content. It could be audio, video, PowerPoint presentation, or a simple text, or it could be a table, data table, something like that. So they are doing something, but most of the inputs has come from the way the data has been fed into it. Okay? All right. What do we have next, Ankit? Okay, next one. Okay, so why it matters? design thinking in product management and why it matters. As I said, empathy is your superpower. Now let's have a quick this thing. If we are not, I am. So we are going to have a continuation of a certain sessions because maybe, as I said, 1 hour is not enough to understand design thinking. Design thinking. I mean, I did a course for 3 months. I did from MIT. It took me 3 months to learn design thinking and 2, 3 projects. Then only I can say, okay, I have learned some part of design thinking. So 1 hour is not enough. We will do more sessions to understand design thinking, the concepts, and also do some hands-on, ideation around design thinking. All right, what do we have here, Ankit? The discussion. Can you read it out, Ankit? Ankit, can you read? Okay, let me read out. So we want to. Can you think of a product you love? What user's pain point does it solve perfectly? Just think of any product that you like or you feel, this is a product I really love. And you
I
can
think
put it on
Swiggy Zomato is one of them. That's the
Swiggy's.
easiest. Everybody can relate to it, I guess. Keeping it neutral.
Okay. 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 That's great. All right. Okay. Anybody has any other thoughts? All right. Let's move on to the framework. And we will introduce the framework today. We will do small exercise maybe in the next session. Ankit, let's move on. Now, Ankit, we can move to the next session, next slide. Yes. So there you go, the design thinking. Um, More or less, the design thinking framework. You take the framework, which is not the previous one. The previous one is fine. You take this is the Stanford D School framework, which we have picked up because it's simple. It's pretty simple. Simple language, simple terms. That's why you took this. But if you go to the MIT design thinking framework, it's more or less the same. If you go what is being taught in ISB, it's more or less the same. Or if you go and find out I think in some of the B schools, they have started design thinking. Um, but more or less, the Stanford and Howard, they lead the show. They are the lead market leaders for any new concept, for any new framework, for any new theory. Um, they are more into research. That's why more and more people, they follow their framework. Okay, that's the reason why we thought that this is something which will relate to most of the people. Okay, it's very simple. You empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. When you're talking about empathizing is learning about the audience. Who is going to be your audience? Okay, how you have to, you need to know how you interview, how you observe them, how you interview them, right? The very simplest example I can give here is you all watch movies, right? Do you? You all watch movies. Especially in Hyderabad, everybody is a movie lover. Yes or no? You watch movies? Guys, yes, no, maybe?
Uh, yes, 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 we do.
Yes. So, um, when these biopics are created, what do they do? When these biopics are created, like let's say a biopic on, I don't know, Sania Nehwal, or a biopic on MS Dhoni, a biopic on somebody else. So, what do they do? What do the actors do? They, of course, there is a script given to them that they know their dialogues, they know their scenes, they know what to act. Okay, but they, in order to get into the shoes of that person, they also try to go and spend time with them. Okay, they try to go and spend time with these personalities to understand a little more, to observe them, to interview them. They have a script, they can simply go through the script, but unless and until you go and meet that person, you will not understand their character, you will not understand what, how do they behave on a day-to-day basis, right? You have to observe, you have to interview them. And they for an actor, that person is kind of your client, right? You're going and trying to understand your requirement from MS Dhoni. You're actually meeting Mahendra Singh Dhoni, that whoever is that actor, Sushant Singh. So you're actually meeting that actor to understand. So you empathize with his journey. Then you come and do the scripting, which is your what? That scripting and everything is your PRD, product requirements document. Simple. But a product requirements document makes sense only when you're talking to the actual customer, you're trying to understand, you're trying to put yourself in their shoes, and then you're coming and reading, writing the script. Then you are building, directing, all those things, producing, whatever. Right? Then the rest of the things follow. So that empathize is very, very important. You learn from the audience, you observe and interview. Then comes your define. You define your scope, which is the script. The script is your scope. You have these many scenes, these many acts. Okay. And then you frame your point of view. And sometimes you also make certain changes to make the script a little bit more exciting. That also the actors do, right? They put their point of view. Okay, I think if they're a star like um, Shah Rukh Khan, or they put their own, they try to bring in their own perspective, own thoughts into those roles. Then come up with many solutions and experiment and co-create with team members. Then how are you co-creating? How are you making that movie? You are co-creating that movie with so many people. It takes a village to make a movie. Similarly, it takes a village to make a very good product. Google just didn't happen on one day, right? It took years to reach to do what Google is doing. It has taken years, and maybe it has taken more people. And people keep on rotating in Google, right? Nobody is there forever. There are only few who would be there forever. But then they, why it is important for people to rotate? Because you new ideas they come, new fresh ideas they come. So that's the reason why Google also helps. Sometimes it keeps on rotating people. I'm not saying rotating people means making them go away from Google and hiring new people. That happens, but rotating those people across various departments. Many organizations do that. Many organizations. Why? You bring that newness, you bring up those new ideas. Okay, you come up with many solutions. Then, of course, the design prototype. I told you that paint wall. And of course, without testing, you cannot um, introduce something, a new product. Without testing if it is work or not, you cannot build a big scale. I think we are at the top of the hour. I'll stop here, Ankit, unless you will continue the rest in the next session. Um, I just want to go to the last slide, Ankit.
Yep, sure. Just a second.
So that would be your, um, yes, the 48, I guess. Yes, the slide 48. Okay. Yes. So yeah, I will take 30 seconds to introduce this to you. This is something which want to come up with the complete practical AI product roadmap. Now, I think in the past, now somebody said that can we have a product roadmap? Let's say starting now, what would be our practical career path? What are the hands-on AI tools that I, as a product manager, that I can use in what areas in a day-to-day basis? And so we want to have maybe 2 or 3 or 4. We'll see how many sessions it takes. Maybe 2 to 4 sessions like this, and you will get a complete AI product roadmap. What to do? Let's say in next 3 to 4 months, you want to position yourself as an AI product manager. You want to put up your resume in such a way. So I think we want to equip you with that, right? Or you want to you like you are building new products, you want to learn more. So that is also this session. These sessions will be still like this next 2 to 3 or 4 sessions, and after that we'll execution of the product roadmap. But we will talk about the practical career path in the forthcoming session. Okay, Ankit, do you have anything else?
We had another quiz planned for you guys, but
Yeah.
let's do that. Let's keep that for the next session.
Okay.
And I let's if anyone wants to talk or have any doubt on anything, they can maybe unmute themselves and they can talk now. I'll just stop sharing this. Right. Yes. Anyone has any doubt?
Okay.
Right. If
That's really good for now.
yes.
Yeah. All right. Thank you everyone for joining. And if you have any questions, any doubt, I think we will keep the group open in WhatsApp or Insta, wherever that is Ankit is managing, or even LinkedIn. We are more than welcome to connect with me on LinkedIn, ask questions, discuss about this forum. What else can we do? I think we are also going to just roll out a survey. How can we make the PM circle more interactive, more useful for people? So that is something which we want to do. And I thank you for your time today. Take care and have a nice rest of the day.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining and taking the session.
Thank you, Ankit. Good night.
Thank you, ma'am. Good night. Good night, everyone.